right, welcome to Real Day Nation. Well, on Real Day, we have field days, and on Real Week, we let the real speak. And today's subject is on small businesses. Do we respect the hustle or the quality? Me personally, I always start with the hustle. I always respect the hustle first. Let's say I have a friend or whoever, somebody close to me that start a business, right? I would support their businesses whether I need the product or not. I'll at least buy at least one. Let's say I don't need it, right? I'll at least buy one just to support the businesses, and I'll even share it because that's free. That's one thing I respect as well. Like the people that may not have the money, but they'll respect the hustle enough to be like, all right, I don't need your product, but I'll share it. I don't have to spend a dime. I'll share it. I'll post it on my page. I'll share it, whatever. So just word of mouth. So that's free right there, right? So I respect the hustle first, but then I move on to the quality. But let's say I'll go back. Let's say one of my friends start a business where they sell T-shirts, maybe a cup. You only need at least one cup, right? So let's say I buy the cup as support and start sharing their products and things like that. Buy a shirt and start sharing it. And I wear it and just show my support, right? But after a while, you're going to want to see about that quality now. That quality is what's more important. But you start off the hustle. Of course, you're going to respect everybody's hustle. But it's that quality after a while where we move into. For myself personally, when it comes to small businesses, I have a great respect for people who start up a small businesses because especially if you are in underserved communities, because that's where you see a lot of black-owned businesses. They start out a lot of the times in underserved communities and they tend to help that community. I'll name a business that when me and my wife got our first place together, we needed to buy a lot of things for this place, right? And we ended up bumping into a small business. We ended up buying an ironing board just from this small business. So that's where these small businesses can also help the community. Now, we're going to move into the whole quality of it, because that's important as well. You respect the hustle initially, but then that quality starts to play a part. And when that quality is how good is this product, right? Because you when you are looking for support, especially if you are a small business owner, if you're looking for support, you're also going to want to put out good product, because a lot of the support is not going to come from your people in your inner circle. And that's a conversation we'll dive a little bit deep into once we get a little further into. So, but before we move into that, what about you? Hustle or quality?
I respect hustle first because it takes a lot to start a small business. I know there's a bunch of sites and everybody on social media is all of a sudden a wolf of Wall Street. I got it. Drill, sometimes that get on my nerves, man, because I'm like, where were all of these people when we really needed them and when there was nothing to be gained other than mentorship and stuff like that? Like now that there's cameras, now that there's social media, now we have all of these wolves of Wall Street where they was gatekeeping at first. So I think a little bit of that motivation is, let me get out there and let me make a class and try to get paid from it. And now finally try to help out. We suffer a little bit from a delay in that regard. You know what I'm saying? But as far as what I respect first, I absolutely respect the hustle. Now, what I don't want small businesses to do, or rather what I want small businesses to realize, is that even though we respect the hustle, it does not necessarily mean everybody's going to want to buy your product. I know you want everybody to buy your product. You're not starting a business just to give things out for free. So I dig that. You know what I'm saying? There's a balance to it. But you have to also understand that while people respect your hustle, I don't want to pay $45 for a catfish plate.
That's a great startup point because I was going to get into
Brother,
that.
I don't.
So
I don't. No, I'll go get
I'll
the
put
fish
this
myself.
out there. I'll put this out there for
Yeah.
anybody that's out there that's starting a business. Please understand that support doesn't always come with a need. It comes with a belief. So somebody will support you because of they believe in your product. Now, when it comes to that pricing though, please understand, not everybody is out here buying Gucci, Louis, Fendi, Prada. You see how Shein, however you want to say it, is making a bunch of money from folks like myself because of the price. I would not be buying no $40 shirt.
Man.
You can't throw at me. You can't throw at me. Well, y'all out here wearing Gucci, Louis, and all of that. I don't. So that don't work against me. You know what I'm saying? I don't wear none of that. What I got on right now, this is a shirt that was made by my auntie. Right? She made this shirt, and I wanted this shirt to say it's escapism, getting free. And I like this shirt because it's a song by Diggable Planets.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're out there, you know this song, especially if you're a hip hop head, you know this song, Escapism Getting Free by Diggable Planets. So, and this didn't cost me $40 at all. You know, and it's a good quality. I had this shirt for years. It's not even a brand new shirt. I had this shirt for years, been washed and everything. That's quality right there. But just to get back into it, like, even if your quality is great, there is somebody that's going to buy that $40-$50 shirt, but it's not everybody. Everybody also isn't looking for free. So don't get mad at the people that can't support you, or highlight the people that can't support you or won't support you. What you need to be worried about is that one person. That's what we like to highlight here at Real Day Nation. That one person that is supporting what we got going on. Even if it's more, we make them feel like it's them by themselves, because that's how that person should feel. So you give them that best customer service. And that's why when we put out these shows like this, we're trying to give our best with it. And that's what you should do with your product. Just put out your best with it, because most support does not come from your inner circle. Like people, like your friends, like myself. Like I said,
Hold on.
when I have friends,
bro. Say that one more time, because they need to. Please say that one more time. Just look right in the camera and say that one more time. Please, bro.
With the support,
yeah.
Like most support do not come from your inner circle. Please understand that, because the people that are gonna be buying your product is out there in that world that you probably don't even know. Probably ordering your stuff. You know what I'm saying? So things like that. I can give you an example right now. And this is not to highlight non-supporters or anything like that, because that's not a big deal to us. But what happens is, when we started this Real Day Nation thing that we got going on now, all of our friends on social media didn't, excuse me if I hit the mic, all of our friends on social media didn't flock to our YouTube channel or our new pages supporting this, because of course they probably oversaturated. They probably don't want to hear it. I don't know. But at the same time, I don't really ding them or get on that case like, oh, y'all not supporting me and nothing like that. It's the people that is supporting what we got going on that I show my appreciation to, you know.
Yeah.
So and that's the people that shared it. There's people that shared this that I didn't even know would share this, you know. So
right.
That's who I really show my appreciation to. And that's when small businesses like cater to those people who are supporting you. And you can broaden your horizon as well and sell to other people. Like I said, there are small businesses in underserved communities, right? And it's good that they are getting that support from that community, you know. And that's what I like to dive into.
Well, so being in underserved communities is something especially minorities have been doing for years. Long before the Civil War. As a matter of fact, it started really in Africa with villages supporting other villages and people supporting other people and storytellers passing stories down and creating currency and creating what the amounts of currencies would be. And that all is just funneled in transition over our history. Not just black people, but a lot of minorities in underserved communities. We are talented at going to where there is a need. That's what we do. We show up where there's a need. Now, sometimes that could definitely be oversaturated, but we usually show up where there's a need. That's why we shine wherever we go and whatever we do. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the business owners in that regard. But let me also tell you that I buy sometimes different brands that are not small businesses. I'll just say that. And the reason why I buy is just because I like the product, regardless of the company. Now, some companies I'm just not going to shop at because of the philosophy that that company stands on, and I don't agree with it. But what I want to tell you, small business owners, is that you have to also think about a word that may not be passed around a lot in the small business community, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you that word is liability. Okay? Liability. Because with a lot of small businesses, what we like to do is put out the best product we think we can, whatever we thought was in our head was cool. We like to put that out. And then if something goes wrong, we like to throw our hands up and just put it all on the customer. Pay me, take the product, and that's it. But a lot of businesses that are not as small, or medium sized businesses, or corporations, even if you will, they have certain clauses and certain contracts and certain protections and certain organizations that they are held liable to if a product is messed up. You ever called the bank and the bank said something about being a member of FDIC? That's liability. If something goes wrong, there's insurances in place. There are different corporations in place. And sometimes you're in an environment where you're going to have to compete with some of those people and some of those organizations. And that's fine. It doesn't mean you're not going to sell, but it does mean you have to be realistic in pricing and understanding where you are. And as amazing and as valuable as you are, there's just a lot of people that may not know you yet. It doesn't mean they're not going to get to know you. It means you may need to find a channel, and I'm not the Wolf of Wall Street myself, but you may need to find a channel to get your brand noticed, to get who you are noticed. Let people get to know you and get to know who you are. And then, oh, by the way, I sell this. Perfect example of doing something like that. Let's take Kevin Hart, for example. A lot of people may not know that he has a contract with Nike, or had a contract. I'm not sure if he still has it, but I know he had a contract with Nike, but he had it as a comedian, not an athlete. He became a comedian first, and then he started really pushing health and pushing working out and stuff like that, and ended up getting a contract with Nike as a comedian because people got to know Kevin Hart for being funny, for being a good comedian. So he started spreading to different environments. And of course, he used money and influence. But guess what? He was able to build that money and influence because we know who Kevin Hart is. Snoop Dogg is another one. In different industries, we all know who Snoop Dogg is. Even though he's a rapper, he is super talented and he spreads across multiple industries. But when you know Snoop Dogg, somebody born right now is going to know Snoop Dogg, not as a rapper, because he put every single thing he had into rapping, and then turned that tenacity. Once he got the foundation set with rapping, he turned that into everything else that he's doing now. All the products he's selling, all the places you see him talk and host and co-host. That happens because people know Kevin Hart's brand. People know Snoop Dogg's brand. You can name different people, and I promise you, you know their branding. Death Row Records, or you could take Christian communities, Maverick City Music. You know these people and you know their brand. Kurt Franklin, that's a brand. It's his name, but that's also a brand. You have to get people to know who you are as a person. Are you a family person? Are you single? Are you dating? Now, everything's not everybody's business, but what I'm telling you is that people connect to other humans. And they do that a lot of time through what this brand is and how it represents you. Just something to think about, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Now, one thing that I would like to get into, and this goes into the small business owners, is black-owned businesses. Now, when it comes to black-owned businesses, I feel personally more inclined to support a black-owned business. And I do this because it's a small percentage. According to the Bookings Institute, only black-owned businesses make up 2.3% of U.S. businesses. And that's very small. So when I hear about, oh, this business is black-owned, I'm automatically feeling like I want to go support them. So I'll go there. I'll check out just off cheap, general purposes, just checking out the place, even though I may not need the product. If it's food, of course, I eat every day, so I'm gonna go check out it, especially if it's food. But
Yeah.
I go check it out, see how it is, and I initially respect the hustle. Like I told you, I always start with the hustle. But
Yeah.
I also get into the quality. So if the quality is great, you're gonna see me more than once. My respect the hustle got a limit on it. Maybe 1 or 2. That's my respect the hustle limit. But if that quality is great, I'll come more. Now, my question to anybody that's watching this, and even you, Joe, is how many respect the hustles do you have before you walk away when the quality is horrible?
1. Nah. One and done. Nah, I would say, okay, so I kind of do it like this. I'll go I'll go in, I'll find something maybe I like, or maybe, I challenge myself to something that maybe I'm not familiar with, or I don't like, and I'll try to buy at least one product to see if it's good. In the food industry, it's a little different because you ever got the annoyance that you were full but it wasn't good? Like you ate something but you didn't really like it, and now you full. Y'all let
That's
me
a
know
great question.
if y'all ever experienced that. But I experienced that at a particular black-owned restaurant, and it's not that I didn't want to support them again. It's just that the food wasn't good. And it doesn't mean that they don't serve good food, because somebody else can have a different opinion than I do. But me personally, I have maybe 2, 3 at the absolute most. But by time number 3, I feel like a duck, because I don't want to pay $500 for this leather purse you telling me that was made by hand. I didn't tell you to make this purse by hand. It's cool. I respect the art because I'm an artist myself. I do different stuff. I create things. But I'm not about to charge nobody. Like when I was making the jewelry, Dral, you know what I'm saying? And the necklaces and stuff with Sana Yatiba. I'm not charging people $90 to $100, $150 for something I made
That was
with
great. If you still got those, man, you should put those pictures in this video, man, because those were great quality things that you made.
I
man.
may
I
do
thought
that, bro. I
was pretty dope.
appreciate that. Yeah, I may do that, dog. That's love. But yeah,
One thing,
two, Dral.
yeah, 2. All right, I'll say this. So I say 2 at the most, but don't let me. And this is for anybody. I'm not specifically talking about black-owned businesses. I want to get that straight. When I say about my limit, this is for any small business, right? Because I know the quality comes, especially if you're just starting up. Of course, you're not gonna have the best quality, but you're gonna want to work toward that. I don't know what the limit is. I'm not gonna put a time limit on what that quality is, but I know other people got different clocks. So, like I said, it's maybe once, twice with me, but with somebody else, like Joe was jokingly saying, one and done.
Because if you
But
know
I also,
right then.
yeah, I'll also say this for people who own those small businesses, especially small restaurants. Don't be hitting people with that automatic gratuity, man. Don't hit me with I'm eating at your spot, but gratuity automatically come out. No, that's a no go. You might
That's
get one
your
out
tip.
me then. Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
And then still expect a tip on top of that. Come on, man. Come on. I know you got to make your money, but
I got to make mine too. Bro, I'm here because I'm hungry. I didn't put in the app.
When I see that, it kind of like turns me off. It makes me not want to tip. And I'm a tipper. My wife will tell you, man. I'm like big spending tip, but I'll always make sure I do if it's good, it's great quality, I do the max, maybe a little bit over. But
yeah, bro,
that's another discussion for another day. That the whole tipping industry,
right?
But
Yeah, you're right about that, dog. But yeah, I don't. If I know it's good, I'll pay for it. And don't get me wrong, y'all. If it's good quality, I'll pay for it. I've paid upwards of a couple $100 for really nice items. You feel what I'm saying? I'll do it. But again, you got to understand you're competing with people that are known, and you can't be mad that somebody got to a place of notoriety before you did. You just have to put in work. And it doesn't, and there's not really a measure, you feel what I'm saying, that a particular person or a particular organization has that you have to meet. You just have to get known. And you have to accept people that know you and want to purchase from you or don't. And you have to be okay either way. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure Fendi, Louis Vuitton, and all those guys and Birkin, they're not hard up. You know, the owners are not hard up for money, but I'm sure there are times in their companies where they're not seeing as many items sold. Everybody don't have money. I know what you're seeing on social media, that's the highlight reel. Everybody not getting money, and everybody that's getting money not buying all of that. So you got to kind of consider what is making you upset, because I see a lot of small businesses upset with larger companies, and some of the reasons why that I hear when I'm talking to people are kind of weird, man. They really don't make sense. You know, if you knew that they were competition before you said you wanted to make t-shirts, you know, people like buying Nike, like me, before you started trying to get in the same industry with Nike. It doesn't mean you're not going to be successful. It means you need to be aware that in your industry, there's also Nike, there's also Adidas, there's also Reebok, there's also, there's a bunch of companies, there's also Ralph Lauren. You have to consider these things when you want to be in that environment. And then perform. Do what you do. I promise you're going to get support. But like Dral said, that support may not come from home. So you might want to expand. You know what I'm saying? Find a conference about design if you're into t-shirts and go to the conference. Just schedule it. You know what I'm saying? Register. Look for different competitions that are going on with musicians to get yourself known. You know what I'm saying? If you're a gamer, look for different competitions. If you like debates, you know what I'm saying? Show up to a school and, you know, look at different people debating and study it. You know what I'm saying? Take a class in it. You just have to do something other than, here, look at my talent, and expect all of the family to drop what they're doing and support you forever. You have to stop doing that. That's not going to grow business. That's not a way to scale business. Most businesses that are successful, you can look at any statistic, have two things in common. They had to go outside of their family. Even if their family was successful at supporting them, they have to go outside of their family, and they have to tap into the international audience within their industry. Those two things are always true about successful businesses, but especially small businesses.
So I want to put this out there. This is for anybody that's watching that may have a small business in that area that they're thinking about it, or they've never thought about supporting. I encourage you to just go check them out. And I say that because 1 in 5 small businesses fall within a year, right? 1 in 5. 8 out of 10 black-owned businesses fall within 18 months. So they're not surviving out here. So I encourage you to go out there, give them some support. If you got a friend on your feed that may be selling something, check them out. You know, see what they got for sale. Check them out once. If you have one and done person, you really don't need the product, go ahead, just do it one time. Or even share it. Let's say somebody out there don't got any money, right? You got somebody out there who is trying to start up a business, and you're pretty cool with this person. Give them a share or two, just to show your support. Because support is not always monetary. Keep that in mind. It's not always monetary. It's word of mouth, like I mentioned early on. So just go out there and support your small business. There's a stat out there from the Intuit Out book survey that says that 61% of consumers are willing to pay more for small businesses. That's not myself now. I'm not in that 61%. I'm frugal. I'm very frugal when it comes to like I'm not gonna play no games with you.
None.
You know, if you see me wearing anything and it look good, that's just because I make it look good. I ain't out here spending hundreds of dollars on Nathan. You heard me? I don't want to spend $100. I probably spend at the most $60, $80.
My boy
on
said,
shoes.
'cause I
I'm
make
not
it look
out
good.
there. That's
You did.
look. I'm telling you, you don't have to spend a lot of money to look good in these clothes. You heard me? Or for no
true.
name brand. Look, and this comes from a personal upbringing, because like we stated in our first video, I'm dating way back. So if y'all didn't watch that first video, you got to check it out. But I'm gonna mention a little snippet of it. You know, a lot of us were teased for wearing, you know, Payless shoes, name brand. If it's not name brand, stuff like that. So
Shout out to
earlier
everybody.
on, I was encouraged, like, man, I gotta wear name brand. But now the full grown adult me don't care at all. I'm gonna wear what I want to wear, how I want to wear it. If it look good, I got it on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not out here spending a lot of money. So if I see a small business, and like I said, small businesses have supported me unknowingly, because they didn't say they're gonna put this here for Dral specifically. It was because I was in that area. I needed this, and I went into this to see what they had to offer, and I got it. You know, so that's what I encourage everyone else out there to do, and that's where I'm at with it.
Yes, sir.
What
Make
you
that
on,
money.
man?
That's really all I had to say, man. Is I would
So-
say this. I guess nah, that's it. We got all the thoughts out.
All right, so I'm gonna also add this. Is it we talked about respecting the hustle over the quality? Let us know in the comment section if you made it to the end of this video, what you respect more. Also, there's another one. Is it loyalty over quality as well? Because let's say, like I mentioned, you got a friend or a family member who started a business, right? Is it loyalty over quality for that as well, or things like that? So just a few questions I like to see everybody's perspective on, and that's all we have. Thanks for watching.
That's what's up. Well, thank y'all so much for watching. We appreciate all of our supporters. Remember, here at Real Day, we love to have field days. And on Real Week, we love to let the real speak. And the real has spoken.